So late one night, I wanted to take a trip to one of America's greatest institutions, the dollar store. No frills, nothing fancy, some things of questionable quality, but the dollar store, where things are about a dollar. Sort of. And our country used to be a proper country where if you went to a store called the Dollar Tree, things would cost $1, but now it's actually 125. So we live in a society. And ever since in the last few months when I got super interested in giraffes, it's like I can never escape. Like I was just minding my business and then all of a sudden this thing shows up. And it's not the only one. I see this thing everywhere. From here to there, to books, to papers, to this, and then that, and then this and that. And then anyway, like these things caught me off guard. Like I accidentally dropped that one. No one saw that. No one saw it. I love knockoff Transformers. They're always 10 out of 10. They're always fun. They're always really cool. The toy engineers know a lot more than I do, so I can't even judge. I don't know. Someone should compare all the knockoff Transformers one day. While I was doing all that, a familiar logo came across my view. And when I see the word Transformers on anything in a store, it kind of activates like monkey brain neuron activation in my head. That makes me search out more of it, and that's what I did. And I found quite a number of stuff on my hunt, and it was after a while I was like, you know what? What if I just, took these home and tested them out? After all, they're only $1.25 each. And after a long, arduous journey of finding capitalist robot branded things and paying respects to our dear president, I decided it was time to head home and see what's it all about. Alright, long time haven't been on the camera screen talking, but here I am again. So, what's the topic going to be about? Dollar Tree Transformers treasures. So, I found this calendar. I think this is actually pretty neat. Like, you know how sometimes you'll see a bunch of like Transformers merch and products, they kind of just reuse these like old G1 art and they just kind of flip around the assets or something like that, or it's kind of like they put the old art, then someone recolors it in a certain way and they put in different backgrounds. Well, this isn't the case with this. I don't think anyway. But someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so this is what the calendar looks like without me opening the saran wrap yet. The front and the back where it shows all the designs. And I honestly think they're pretty neat looking designs. And of course, for Dollar Tree calendars, it's kind of like, you kind of get what you're paying for in a way, as far as quality goes, because of course it's going to be a little flimsy like this. I didn't expect it any other way personally. Of course, I got this free cardboard, which is neat because I can use this for packaging. I just gotta cut it up. And so let's get into the actual. I don't know why, but I spent over 8 minutes in this original recording, but anyway. So looking at the calendar, lots of nice art, nice set color palette, kind of a graphic style going on. And despite its floppiness with the pages, I mean, it's a calendar, what do you expect it's gonna do, you know what I mean? So some art are more full than others. And I guess there's some errors that were going on with alignment of certain things, like especially the logos on certain characters, but it's still cool. 10 out of 10 poster, highly recommend, get it. Okay, and next, from this pile here, yeah, we got this. It is a, well, it says Jumbo on the Go Adventure in Transformers. And someone please correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not like the most acquainted with all the Transformers branches of everything. But like the design they went with, whenever I see like this style of Transformers, it's like, was this ever in anything? Like, was this from a video game or some kind of offshoot that I don't know? Because I saw a lot of this kind of style of branding, packaging, art in like a lot of toys that I found like in Ross, but I can't exactly say these are from a certain series. Like, they're not Cyberverse, they're not RID 2015, and yeah, just please enlighten me if anybody knows, because like, let me open this up. Anyway, back to this actual thing. It looks like it's a collection of stickers that you can reapply and unreapply on a reusable board, but let's see. Okay, so this set isn't like a set of stickers and a board. It's actually some kind of play set. I remember seeing this concept of like play set a lot when I was younger, but not so much anymore. So basically you have these sheets with this plastic material of images that you can apply and reapply on a board, such as what's in the background here, and there's 3 different backgrounds you can use. So I mean, if you're really bored, you could probably buy this and play around with it, but it's so limited what you could do. So I mean, I wouldn't recommend buying it. I mean, I guess the art's cool and whatever, but it's like, you know, it's a board and vinyl-ish things that aren't even stickers, so you can't even use that for anything. So yeah. Next thing I have is a magnetic board, and if any of you have ever been to the dollar store, when there's like whiteboards, it's not really like you can tell it's a cheaper quality whiteboard, mainly because it has a writing surface on the top, but in the middle it's just cardboard. And honestly, for what it's worth, I think it's pretty neat, because if you know, you don't need the solid wood board to write on with a marker, something like this is pretty neat and fine. Like we got reused Bumblebee art of like the same style of Bumblebee from the circle sticker set, but he's green. He's Gatorade green. He's kind of like geese poop green instead, or because he's green, it could be a different character named Game Changer. Oh, and it's okay. So in the front there's a design, and in the back it's blank. And it has a little hanging thing, which is super neat because you can put it on a wall or something if you have little notes. Let me check if the board marker works. It works, but I can feel like it's nearing the end of its life already, the marker. But it seems like it's pretty good for a while, so I don't think you really have to worry about that. So, yeah, so let's move on to the next thing, because honestly, this is pretty explanatory. I don't think I really had to go to any closer look, but there you go, in case it was perplexing. Okay, so next set of things I got. I can't believe I got 2 of these, but I mean, was it a huge loss of $1.25 or $1.38 with tax? No, I don't. It's probably not a huge loss, but it's still like, I don't need 2 sets of these. I could have had 25 cents with me right now, but these are sticker sheets of what I assume is the same designs on 4 sheets, circular. So I think these would actually work pretty nicely for whenever I do like letter mail or mail out commissions from people. I was like, just a neat little thing, like, you know, where people do like wax stamps, but this in the center of the closing fold. See, like, it's all the same. I have 2 sets. I have 2 sets of these, and now I have 8 sheets of these, and it's like, oh, okay. It's honestly kind of like with the whiteboard, honestly. I feel like they're pretty self-explanatory. Like, their stickers, they come off, they come on, but let's take them out anyway. I don't know what to say. They feel pretty nice. They don't feel fragile or anything. Like, they're circle stickers, and they have spots on them. Just Megan, OP, and V. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't have it. No comment. There's nothing to really say. They probably do the job that they're meant to, so yeah. Come off, come on. They do this cleanly, so yeah. Stickers. We got here is a little interesting thing here. It's a little blind bag. Here's the outer wrappings of it. It's called a mini walker, and Like when I do like this, it feels like an eraser, and it's advertised saying that it has movable arms and legs, and it's a blind bag, so who knows what you're getting here. It doesn't look like a chain, but let's go ahead and open one of these babies. Actually, both of them. Let's open 2 of these babies and see what these are. Let's look at mini walkers. All right, eraser, plastic little stand things. Let's see. And okay, is there like a little rivet here? There's a knife in an obviously very safe way. All right, open this. And we got the beaster. All right, let's look at this. I think it might be an eraser. Like, it has the texture of Dollar Tree, dollar store erasers, right? It's like it feels like it's very crumbly. It won't erase very good whenever you use anything for it. So, and I guess it's posable. All right, let's free our second guy here. Hopefully it's somebody else. Oh, and it's Optimus. All right, same deal. Got like plastic in there, and it's posable. Freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Anyway, let's take it even closer. All right, let's try posing again. Try posing my phone. Much more like, yeah. Let's try posing these guys again. And I guess sue me because it was a lot harder than I thought it would be. Like, you know, bot toys, they have like tiny legs and they always fall down. But these should be a lot simpler, but I found these to be a lot harder to make stand. I don't know. I'm not the expert in making things balance. Like, hello, you know, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to draw. I'm not here to balance toys, you know. Anyway. For all fairness, let's use a mechanical pencil. That's from those $1 packs anyway. So let's... I have no inside joke to put here. I was just... What's that thing wheelie? Not wheelie. The Junkion says in G1 Beep. Wanna... Guinea... Bong. The universal greeting, whatever it's supposed to be. I actually don't know what it's supposed to be. So that's what it had. But that's what I wrote. Let's use one of these erasers just to test out. And yeah, it works. It's an eraser and it erases. It doesn't tear up the paper. And it's a bit crumbly, but I can see it being an okay thing. But as you can see, definitely it would come apart at some point. So, but unless you want the novelty of like a Transformers looking eraser, there you go. But other than that, it's like, eh. Oh yeah, and the ink of the design doesn't rub off or make a mess or anything like that. So yeah, I as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, I had to buy it. And it's this multi-pen, and I don't know if anybody else was like me when I was younger, but I always bought these multi-pen things whenever I saw them. I think the first one I ever bought was like a pink Sanrio Hello Kitty one. And the thing about these kind of pens is they always break. They never like really stay working for a long time. Whether it's because like the spring coils here, they get out of place, or the ink just runs out. Things like that. But I always loved the idea of a multi-pen. Like if there was actually good, high quality working one that looks cute and not like super expensive, I'd love to have one. Yeah, I haven't actually thought about it, but yeah, it'd be really neat to have one. But I mean, if I'm gonna expect anything from this, it probably won't last super long, and it would break easily as well. So here it is. It feels light on the plastic, as honestly what I would expect for these kind of things. And of now, it works. So you know, your simple multi-pen mechanics, and I'll go ahead and bring you to a closer look and see how the ink looks. All right, and let's take a look at this pen, which is pretty neat. Like I said, I love multi-pens, so here's pen. All right, let's see if they work. I mean, yeah, they work fine. I'm surprised that they weren't dried out or anything, because I find a lot of dollar store kind of pens tend to be that way, like they're on their way out. But no, these are fine. A bit light on the color, but I mean, if you need a pen and don't care for a smooth writing experience, these are fine. And as for funsies, I did a little color palette with them, as you can see, and yeah, the click mechanic works, the spring lock works. It's just, I know how better pens feel like. So, but I mean, there's Optimus on the pen. So, you know, obviously this is better than any pen I could ever use. And for funsies, I compared the multi-pen to the pens that I use on the regular, which is the Papermate Inkjoy. And I didn't have all the exact colors, so it's a little skewed here as far as color palette results go. Like, I didn't have a red pen. I don't know where it went. But either way, of course, the Papermate Inkjoy, since it actually costs more to get all these, it had more of a smoother writing experience and more vibrant colors. So, I mean, on the daily, I'd rather use an Inkjoy pen than the Optimus multi-pen. But I mean, who's gonna beat a multi-pen? No one's gonna beat a multi-pen with Optimus Prime on it, so. Last thing I got here that's actually Transformers specific, it is these set of jumbo crayons with the rescue bots. And that's like, okay, we actually have one that's branded for a particular series of Transformers, while the ones that we were just talking about, they all have the same design, character design series style, whether it's rendered in 3D or with the line art. I don't know what actual Transformer series it comes from though, but this one is actually from Rescue Bots, which is neat. And I would imagine maybe in the past there was a lot more like little kitty Rescue Bot stuff in the store as well. And it feels like a standard collection of crayons. Doesn't feel any lighter than a normal 10 set. They look pretty neat. So let's go ahead and get a closer look. And here we go, we got our crayons here. So, Rescue Bots, crayons, what can I say? Alright. And so, like I did with the pens, I did a little color swatch, and honestly, at first, I thought these were pretty nice. I mean, they are pretty nice. But I find they kind of have like a waxy feeling, well, compared to like Crayola crayons. So, I mean, they're okay. They're pretty good. I think they're fun to use. They feel like a pretty good set of crayons. I mean, what can I say? They're crayons, you know. And so I want to test the blendability a bit. And they blend quite nicely if you go over each layer several times. So, yeah, like the colors don't fade out. It does get waxy. Like you can feel like at some point you can't do any more layering on top of it. But like I said, it's crayons. They're not the most, you know, intensive art medium to use ever. So yeah, they're pretty neat. And for funsies, I wanted to compare it to a set of Crayolas that I had. And of course, like last time, I didn't have every color ever, but so despite the variance in shades and stuff, it's pretty apparent that the Crayola crayons are a lot more vibrant in the color than the Rescue Bot crayons, but I mean, that's pretty negligible, to be honest. I mean, for me, I can notice it, but I mean, if you're just wanting to have fun and doodle around, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? So, if you could find the crayons in the Dollar Tree, I would recommend them. They're pretty fun. I wouldn't recommend them for the original price of like $10 nearly. That's crazy, but and for fun, I kind of wanted to take the multi-pen and the crayon and use it further and go ahead and show y'all in practice how would I draw with them. And unfortunately, there wasn't like Transformers themed paper at the dollar store. I don't know if there ever was either, but I chose like, you know, a set of copy paper with a nice colorful border because I'm 5 years old. I love color. I love as much as a rainbow color as I can get, and these look pretty cute, so I got it. I opened them, and yeah, here's the crayons. And getting started with sketching, I wanted to use dollar store material type stuff. So I mean, we got a wooden pencil, we got our dollar store paper, and the crayons and pens, and you'll see it in action. You know, it's cool, it's whatever. And I guess this could be the part where I say, it doesn't matter. You don't need expensive art materials. You can draw with anything. You can draw with a pencil and paper. And you don't need it. Those people are lying. You don't need expensive art materials. You know, that thing a whole bunch of artists online will say. And of course, it's like, do you need the most high-end art materials ever? No, but it will make your drawing experience a little more easier and a little bit more understanding of the medium you're working with. Like in general, really cheap material type of stuff, they're nice to like just get your toes in the water, so to say, about different mediums. Like in the dollar store itself, they had their sets of watercolor, and I've seen watercolor at discount stores like Ross for like $3 and $5 or $2 and so on and so forth. And it's like, by the price, I know it won't be a great experience for me, being someone who knows what a decent quality watercolor paint should feel and look like, but for someone who doesn't know, then it doesn't mean much of a difference, right? It's paint to just try out. Like, I know every year this comes around Christmas time, where there will be a bunch of artists on Twitter who are complaining about those multi-set art supply kits that parents may give them. You know, where it's like a plastic little tin thing that has crayons, color pencils, probably watercolor, and very cheap acrylic paint all together. And like I said, the reason they would be upset about this is because in general, they're the artists who know how the medium should feel like if you really want to take it seriously to do art. But like I said, it's just a bridge to build to try out different mediums for usually kids. Because when you want to try making serious art, but then you realize the limitation of these cheaper mediums, it's frustrating. Like, even when I'm drawing this heat wave right now, kind of getting those colors to blend, where I initially thought when I was doing little swatches earlier that it was okay and fine, I found that it was actually hard to put it together, the different colors, because at a certain point, the colors will it will stop layering with each other, so you can't even color over to make colors smooth anymore. But in general, that's the kind of issue you're gonna find with crayons, whether it's this crayon set, where it's like obviously kind of like a lower budget, or if it's like Crayola. It's just in general, crayons are the medium that's limited just to have fun. You know, not to take it super seriously like you can. But when you want the control over the medium, that's not what you're gonna get here. That's why it's kind of relegated to like, oh, just for funs, for doodles. And that's how I saw this piece that I'm making, just for funsies. Because, you know, when you're trying to do art, either seriously or as a hobby even, it's always nice to just wind down and just see where it takes you, where you're not really focusing on refining the art or anything like that. So here, as you can see, when I was laying down the base colors, I would kind of just outline it. Well, first in pencil in a rough way, but then I would alternate between the pen and the crayon. So I'd lay down the base colors, but decided in order to make the lights and shadows, I would use yellows and oranges for the light areas, while maintaining the whites of the paper for the most lighted areas. And where I would make the shadows, I would just go in with blue and brown, opting against pure black in those cases, just to keep, you know, a variety of colors on the page to keep things a little bit more interesting. And because just having black as the shadow would kind of just flatten it, kind of make it muddy, and that's not what I want to do here. And unfortunately, I forgot to record the ending of that piece. I'll show both of the two crayon pieces at the end of this little speed paint thing. But whereas I wanted to just doodle a little scene with heat wave, for this next one, I decided to make it into like the rough idea of a little poster. So as I said before in my previous video, right now I'm kind of working on a lot of Transformers related fan art because I'm going to be tabling again at TFCon LA 2024. And it just so happened that when I asked if anyone was interested in a commission in this crayon style, a pal commissioned me with the option of choosing Wheeljack or Ironhide, and I chose Ironhide. And Ironhide G1 because I haven't drawn him before, so it's like, why not? And also, if the piece turned out nice, I could develop it further and make it into something sellable for the convention, to be honest. So it's like a 2-in-1 scenario, which is honestly what my mindset is right now. If I can go ahead and sell it, I'll make it. Anyway, so honestly, I didn't know that much about this character. I just know he's kind of like, he's like an old tough man guy kind of character, but in the sense where it's like, he's still active, like he's not grumpy and cranky as there are characters like that. He's more of like the, let's get it done, let's get it go. And so, I didn't actually know what I was gonna do with him here. I'm just like, okay, I wanted to have him be happy in some sort of way. He's doing some kind of action, not too dynamic of a pose, but some kind of in motion type thing. So, I was just looking up clips of him and found where he's kicking a character who's stuck in transformation named Jazz. And so I was like, okay. And then I looked up on the Transformers wiki about Ironhide, and then I realized that in one of his iterations, he's kind of like punch happy, where he's stressed, he's angry about the war and stuff, and then so he kind of has like this streak of like hitting people. And I decided to incorporate that in here too. And in my own head about what I think of Ironhide as a character, like I said, old, active kind of guy, still fighting, still kicking. So I thought it'd be funny to combine the idea of referencing stuff that was officially done with him versus like my own idea. So basically, I decided to fashion this little doodle commission like as if it was like a advertisement poster, but he's advertising for very specific services that he himself offers, which is basically Ironhide's all-natural medical services, in which he can, with his degree from the School of Hard Knocks, crack your back for instant pain relief or knock some sense into ya. And I've been always trying to incorporate more typography or just text in general in my pieces. Not only because I think text is cool and I would like to explore it, but also I have this sense of horror vacui where it's like, if there's too much negative white space in a piece, it bothers me. Like, I feel that I have to fill it up somehow in some way. And I think actually this is to my benefit because at least I wanted to make it a defining part of my style that I don't see a lot of my other Transformers fan art peers do, where they add text to things. So I think it works out. And to also add a little humor to the piece because, yeah, he seems like the kind of active pull it by the bootstraps kind of guy who would kind of be poking fun at like all natural type things, and the kind of characters that do appear in the G1 Transformers series, like Beachcomber, who would probably be kind of like a hippie kind of guy who would probably butt heads with Ironhide, even though that doesn't necessarily happen in the show. And that's what I like to do. I like to explore my own ideas of how to draw things and how to interpret these characters. And it's kind of why the original 80s Transformers G1 cartoon is my favorite, because it's like a sandbox to work with. Like, there's a huge cast that could interact conceivably in different ways, and while they don't always do it in the show, you or I guess me as the viewer, it's like I can take them and in my head make them do things, like, you know, like action figures. That's why there's the idea of like, or like not the idea, but it's like where people kind of think of Transformers as a sandbox, you know, where you pick up your little action figures and make the characters do things. And while I didn't necessarily grow up with Transformers figures at all, like I don't have a nostalgia for it or anything, it's like I like the freedom and ideas of what can be taken from the cartoon and to someone's imagination. And I was feeling like I was towards the end of the piece with my rough on the spot thinking of text placement and all that stuff. I was thinking of what character should I even put in the bottom there, because it's just like a white space. Like I actually wasn't gonna put anyone there, but then I was like, well, how was it gonna say knock some sense into who? And it was like, oh, I don't know. And then so yeah, I went back to the reference of why would he be punch happy from the IDW1 comics and decided to draw in Prowl, who's a cop character. And in the original cartoon, yeah, he's just a cop character. He doesn't really do too much. He seems nice. And in fandom, people like to draw Jazz and Prowl together for a variety of reasons and ways. I'll let you guess what I mean by that. But I decided to add him here as a little tongue-in-cheek snark because, yeah, these two characters are here together, but not in the way they would want, so. So whereas when I was working on Heatwave, I was kind of just focusing on getting playful with the medium of Crayon, I kind of just focused here. It's like, how can I fill up this space? And figure out what kind of like little mini story idea I want to tell with it. And I think I did a pretty good job. Like, of course, while the finished piece is still rough and everything, it's like, okay, this is a nice building board. Not building board. Let's say like, what's the diving board to work upon and make maybe, I don't know, like a little series of these mock little advertisements, you know? And so yeah, here's the final piece. I actually remember to record me showing the camera, even though it doesn't quite get all the colors, but you know, just to see that it is a real piece. And here the piece is scanned, and honestly, I had fun with these. I like the vibrancy of colors that I did. I think I could probably next time maybe play around with texture and the direction of the crayons, you know, to make more dynamic or more interesting pieces. But I had fun, so I recommend drawing with crayon, but don't take it too serious. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show a couple of cool things I found in the store and do a little doodle sketch stuff just to show what I can do with it because it's cool. And I thought, you know, why not? It's Transformers related, it's art related, why not? Share it on my little channel here. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and yeah, video's done. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe for more stuff from me. And yeah, thank you so much. Goodbye.